And welcome to the show, brothers and sisters, Thursday, April 2nd. I'm Dean Obidala, as always, here to be your MBFF. I hope you're doing well with the social distancing and self-quarantining and everything you're going through. I imagine for people it's become accepted daily life, like you found your new normal, within reason, of course. But then you find your normal things, like what time I'm going to have lunch or dinner, or what am I going to watch at a certain time? And it becomes less painful over time. It's hard to think in a way what was life before, because it's been for 3 weeks here in New York where I am, where literally today I left the apartment for 12 minutes to run around the block and then come in here and do stepping for the rest of my workout. And generally it's not leaving the apartment. It's trying to do this social distancing in a responsible way. And I imagine you're going through similar things. I'm on Twitter. That's the only place I go out a lot, on Twitter at Dean Obidala, Facebook.com/Dean of Radio. And before we go through some of the facts, I want to say at the outset, we may have found a GOP elected official more dangerously incompetent than Donald Trump when it comes to the virus. I know you're thinking, no way, it's possible. We'll get through that in a second. First, today, the headlines were the economic numbers. Every Thursday, we get the update on how many unemployment claims have been filed from the week before on Thursday. Today's simply stunning. I mean, last week was a record. Over 3 million filed. This week, today, we learned 6.6 million more Americans have filed for unemployment. That brings it to over 10 million Americans in the last 2 weeks who filed for unemployment. And that's not the full extent of this, because there's more layoffs going on. There are people I know who can't even call in for unemployment online, or their website's crashing and it says call in. They can't get through. The number is going to go up. To give you a sense, in the first 6 months of the Great Recession, we didn't have 10 million people file for unemployment. We've done this in 2 weeks. In fact, according to economists today, based on the unemployment numbers we had before, and adding this 10 million more, we are likely now at an unemployment rate of around 10%. 10%, if not more. And again, to give it some perspective, during the Great Recession, the height of it, we had a 10% unemployment rate. So we are now right against that level of the highest amount during the Great Recession, and we are 2 weeks into this. Now, in all likelihood, this resolves quicker than the Great Recession, but no one knows. This is truly uncharted territory, what's going on. And yesterday I made a point, and I have 2 members of Congress on today, and I'll speak to both of them about this, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and Bill Pascrell, Congressman from Jersey, about Democrats' need in this moment, because we are now, yesterday I was speculating the jobs report would be bad. It's worse than anyone expected. They were predicting 3 to 5 million unemployed filing. Now we have 6.6, so 10 million together and building. This is much more like the Great Depression than it is the Great Recession. And in that case, we need more policies like FDR did during New Deal. Big, bold policies. And not just stimulus plans. You know, that's a direct infusion of money and cash, and that is vitally needed. There's no doubt about it. But look at the New Deal. It not only many of the programs created jobs, it helped America beyond just job creation, and a lot of these programs are still with us. They're part of our nation today. They're part of what Democrats have given America. Social Security, of course, being probably the biggest one. Unemployment insurance that we know of today comes from FDR. There's other programs like the Tennessee Valley Authority, which was to create jobs, but also to provide energy to rural parts of the South for 7 states. It's still in operation today, and there are numerous other programs that FDR created, one hand to create jobs, but second to be lasting beyond that generation to help Americans going forward. And I really hope our Democrats in Congress do more than just talking about stimulus. They're talking about stimulus 4. Yes, you need that. But here's a time to talk about health care for all. It doesn't have to be Medicare for all first. It could be health care for all of those people who are unemployed. Because when you lose your job, you're going to lose your health insurance benefits at some point. There might be COBRA benefits, but if you can't afford it, you're going to have no health insurance. Well, maybe Medicare options for anyone who's unemployed. They can become a part of Medicare. We begin expanding Medicare that way. And that can go long-term. Pre-K is another thing, universal pre-K. It's jobs for teachers, but also we're investing in our children. We're investing in our nation because kids are learning at a younger age, and there's studies that show how much helpful that is in life. And the list goes on, from issues with climate change and the environment. It's jobs, yes, but also you're contributing to protecting our environment for longer. So I hope that happens. Let's talk about, with respect to facts on the virus, today we eclipsed 1 million worldwide, not America, worldwide cases of the virus. To give you a little context, in New York, in the last 24 hours, 432 people died in the state of New York from the coronavirus. I want to give you context so you understand how lethal the virus is. We had 432 die in the last 24 hours. The seasonal flu, which hits New York very hard, during the seasonal flu, on average, 33 people die a day. 33. We had 432 die in the last 24 hours from this virus. And I hope that gives you a sense of how lethal this is. And we're building these numbers. There might be days where it slides down. Other days, as we hit the peak, it might get much, much worse. It's hard to say. Yet still, you have Fox News, Trump allies, Brit Hume, we have to call them out by name, making light of this, saying the statistics of death in New York are misreporting, they're inflating it to say they were killed by the coronavirus when they had underlying conditions. The cause of death is the cause of death. Because you have cardiovascular disease and you're alive, but you get the coronavirus and you die from the coronavirus. But for the coronavirus, you're still alive. But these guys want to play games. Their loyalty to Trump eclipses common sense and helping Americans. And they do it from the comfort of their wealthy homes. Millionaires on Fox News, they do very well. So these millionaires sit there and mislead people, working class Americans who watch Fox News, who then go out and disregard the words of experts, thinking, well, the guys on Fox News said it's okay, so Trump must be on board with this. These cowards sit in their palaces, these wealthy cowards, and mislead good Americans. And it's vile, and I find it despicable. Now today, Governor Cuomo's, and here's a little moment of levity. It's been hard to find any kind of humor at all. In Governor Cuomo's daily briefing, at the end of it, he invited his brother, Chris Cuomo, the anchor from CNN, to join by video screen because Chris has the coronavirus, and to share what he's going through because it's helpful for people. And Chris shared that he's had 103 fever. He had overnight last night hallucinations. His fever was so high. He had rigors, which he said is not pronounced rigors. It's rigors, which is your body shaking from the amount of fever. He said he literally chipped a tooth. That's how much his body was shaking. Because your body is trying to fight this, so it's raising temperatures and shaking. That's how lethal. He's lucky he has no acute respiratory distress. But here he is talking to his brother. This is live with Governor Cuomo talking to Chris Cuomo. And a little funny thing here, he shares what one of his dreams was, and it involves Governor Cuomo. Here's clip number 1, please. Look, at a tough time, it was a human moment between two brothers, one a governor and the other an anchor who has the disease that his very brother is working day and night to protect the rest of America. It's like a movie, but it's real life. So much of this is surreal and like a movie. So here's what I want to get to, who might be the most dangerously incompetent GOP elected official. Beyond Trump, because Trump is on his own level, but we might have found someone worse. And just to be clear, there are governors doing a great job. Governor Cuomo, Governor Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan, J.B. Pritzker in Illinois and across this nation, and many Republican governors are doing a great job as well. Most notably, Larry Hogan in Maryland, who's been out there doing a great job. So this is not Democrat, Republican. This is a time of a crisis. And there are people doing a good job and not doing a good job. If a Democratic governor was not taking this seriously, I can assure criticizing that Democratic governor. But we have now two different Republican governors who are so loyal to Donald Trump that until Donald Trump told them this virus was serious, they, like Trump, disregarded it at the peril of the people in their state. And I speak of two, but one is even worse. The first, Ron DeSantis in Florida, who finally, after weeks of criticism, saying you got to put a stay-at-home order in place. You've got a state with a very high elderly population. There's big urban areas where people are on top of each other. Finally did it. And why did he do it? The reporters asked, what changed your mind, Governor DeSantis? He said, well, when you see the president up there and his demeanor the last couple of days, that's not necessarily how he always is. So finally seeing his beloved Trump take this seriously made him go, maybe I should be worried about the people in my state. And that shows you how Trump's words actually mislead elected officials or who want to be more loyal to him because they fear some political repercussions by the base. But the other governor who might be worse, and I actually think, and I suggest is worse, Georgia Republican Governor Brian Kemp. Yes, the vote-stealing governor of Georgia, where Stacey Abrams should be governor now, but instead they have an incompetent moron who, this is completely true, at his press conference yesterday, when he finally embraced a lockdown in the state, this is why he said he did it. And I'll play the clip and we'll talk about it. Listen carefully why he said he finally embraced it. Clip number 2, please. The governor of Georgia, everyone sit down for this. The governor of Georgia didn't know till yesterday that if you don't have symptoms of the virus, you can still be contagious if you have it. Did I just land on this planet? How do you not know that? You're the governor of a big state. Experts have been talking about this. Everyone listening, you knew this before the governor of Georgia. The governor of Georgia did not know until yesterday that asymptomatic people who have the virus can spread it. And just let me read, because it's not just, we're smarter. We're smarter than him because we listen to doctors. Dr. Fauci in January said, and I'll read his quote, there is no doubt that asymptomatic transmission is occurring, citing a study in Germany where he said it was not clear before. Now we know from a recent report from Germany, it is absolutely the case. On February 4th, Dr. Fauci again said, we've been getting reports from highly reliable people in China, scientists and the like, telling us that asymptomatic disease is causing transmission. On March 1st, the Center for Disease Control, which is in what state, everybody? Georgia, where Brian Kemp is the governor in his state. The CDC put up guidelines saying asymptomatic people can spread the virus. But he didn't know this till yesterday. And he wouldn't close down the state till then. So either you have to believe that he's the dumbest man alive. And it could be true. He might only be good at voter suppression and nothing else. I can't tell you. Or is it because he is so beholden to Donald Trump, just like Ron DeSantis, that until Donald Trump told him it's okay to be serious about this, and it's no longer a hope the Democrats have come up with, or it's no longer media hysteria, people are going to die, you can now take it seriously. I don't know which to believe, because it's impossible as an adult with reasonable intelligence to believe he did not know what the rest of us all knew, that asymptomatic people are transmitting the disease. Everyone knew that. I believe he lied. I believe he lied there because he wanted to listen to Trump. And to remind you how much Trump and DeSantis are loyalists to Trump, And I believe they are loyal to Trump over the people of their state's own well-being. During the campaign last year when Ron DeSantis was running for governor, he ran an ad with his young daughter chanting, "Build the wall," and he was reading Art of the Deal. Worse, Brian Kemp said during the campaign, "I unapologetically stand with President Trump to secure our border and deport criminals and crush gangs and to ensure a bright and promising future for our families." That's Brian Kemp. It's about disloyalty to Trump. And it doesn't end there. I think Kemp's the worst. But there are 5 states that still do not have any restrictions in place. 5 states. What do you think those 5 states have in common? You want to guess? You know the answer. All Republican governors. Now, there are some Republican governors who are very serious about this, who've been very conscientious, who put their people over Trump. But we have 5 states with 0 restrictions. And some are more rural states, like North Dakota. But still, how could you be doing nothing? Because the virus crosses the border with any delivery. Anybody coming back from traveling. But still, they won't do it. And many of the other bigger red states, they've limited amounts of restriction. And add to that, if you want to see Trumpism, the vile Trumpism, it's not just the media, the Sean Hannitys and the Brit Humes and those scumbags. It's what they're doing now online. For example, Dr. Fauci, we all know Dr. Fauci, 79-year-old man who's given so much of his life as a public servant since the Reagan administration to our nation as an infectious expert. He now has gotten so many death threats, he has to have security protection, as the Washington Post reported yesterday. He's become a public target for some right-wing commentators and bloggers who exercise influence over Trump's base. Last month, an article depicting Dr. Fauci as an agent of the deep state gained nearly 25,000 interactions on Facebook. It was posted to large pro-Trump groups like Trump Strong, Tampa Bay Trump Club. The headline of the article in the American Thinker, another right-wing publication, about Fauci said this: "Deep state Hillary Clinton loving stooge." That's what they called the Dr. Fauci. Deep state Hillary Clinton loving stooge. So, of course he's getting death threats from Trump's base because they want to silence him. He is giving the truth. But that truth, until Trump embraced it 3 days ago, was flying in the face of Donald Trump's lies, Donald Trump's misinformation. He was scaring people, Dr. Fauci, because he was telling the truth. And now Fauci's been proved 100% correct as Donald Trump is listening to him. Look, is Trumpism a cult? I don't know. I don't know, a real cult? Maybe, maybe not. Are they a group of morons? Maybe, maybe not. Are they dangerous? Definitely. Absolutely, 100%. You know, we are dealing with Republican governors who put Trump over the people in their own state. And now you have fringe elements of Trump's base attacking Dr. Fauci, first on Fox News, then in these chat rooms, now resulting in a 79-year-old doctor having to have security because of threats. I can't even imagine what he's being told. I've never seen this. I never thought we would see this. I never thought we would see the politicalization of a virus. Even with Trump. In fact, right before we went on air, the Navy captain, the head of the commanding officer of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, who sent a letter a few days ago that got leaked, and he didn't leak it, that there were sailors on a ship getting sick, and he was saying they should be removed more quickly because you're exposing other sailors to this disease, and didn't think it was in the best interest of the safety of and the people on the ship to leave them there to allow them to die. Just a short time ago, removed from his command by the acting Navy secretary, which means Donald Trump had him removed because this man, even though they're not saying he leaked the letter, they said he showed poor judgment by sending the letter to a group of 20 to 30 people, meaning it got out to the public, that the public learned that Trump turned his back on people in our Navy. And now he won't anymore turn his back because now he finally hears virus. This is where we are, folks. Have you ever seen this in your life? I mean, honestly, tell me, is this unexpected to you or is this expected? Is this just simple Trumpism taken to a new level? Because I am stunned by some of it. I am stunned by Governor Brian Kemp saying that he didn't learn until yesterday that you can get this disease. I don't believe that. Of course he did. The CDC's in a state. I believe he misled people there because of Trump. Ron DeSantis, the same thing. Or is there something else at play? Is it business concerns? Is there some reasonable concern? I'd love to hear from you. We have Congressman Ilhan Omar joining us in a little bit. We're going to take calls around that. Then Congressman Bill Pascrell at the top. Then we'll take a lot of phone calls around that. I'd love to hear from you. You're my guest. Let's talk about what's going on in your neck of the woods. Has your life changed? Is there a new normal now? Are you accepting this new world that we live in? Give me a call, 866-997-4748, 866-997-4748. Be right back with more of the Dino Vidala Show right after this.